that you took the time to tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and excited to be here today on the Kim Jacobs Show. We have with us one of our episode sponsors, actually, and we also have her known as America's top health coach, Dr. Dee Baer. How are you?
I am so great because I'm with Kim Jacobs, and I honor you. And I just got to say, Kim, I noticed on my calendar that it's exactly 1 year ago today that I met you on Les Brown's inner coaching that we were doing, Inner Circle. And Kim, I've got to say, it was love at first energy sight. Oh. And I'm so blessed that we have partnered. Think about what we've done this year.
We've done so much.
You know, Gabe's foundation, Ivan's been my guest. And you know what? We're just getting started, Kim.
Wow. And you know what? Even with Hurricane Ian and everything that's been happening, that's amazing, Dr. Jody, that so much can even happen in a year.
Amen. Amen.
Like you live in Florida and in your community, right in the surrounding areas, the entire land was leveled.
Yes.
So that's not something that, just this happened and you keep moving. You took the initiative in your local community and even globally to form a committee of people that started raising funds to raise like as close to $1 million that we could to be able to help those in need. So I want to commend you for what you've done in this year as well.
Thank you, Kim. And you were such a great keynote on that Hurricane Ian. It's getting played. And I can say if the need continues, my husband and I, for the second time in a row with Hurricane Ian, we're displaced right now. If you see the little green before the green screen, I am in a temporary housing because we had to vacate our home a second time. So, you know, it's like what our Papa Les says, Uncle Les says, things happen to you, but things happen for you.
That's right.
And I've seen your resilience. I'm so blessed to be a partner with one of my company's Confidence Tones. I'm so blessed to be on your Freestyle Fridays to lock arms with your amazing son, Ivan, and everything that we've done. So thank you, Kim.
Well, thank you. And thank you for being here today. So everyone, listen, grab your virtual seats. We have a great show lined up for you. We're going to be talking about 21 days to the best you that you can get. And it's not just the book title, even though I love it. It is the book title. Let me start there. It is the book title. But in addition to it being the 21 days to your best you, you're going to learn some tips that literally do kick you into gear to live in your best life. Okay. I am looking forward to this. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, hear from our first episode sponsor, which is Hunter Everidge Law Firm. And then when we come back, we're going to be hearing a lot more about Dr. Dee Baer right after this break.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
We're back and we are talking with Dr. Dee Baer. And Dr. Dee Baer is a holistic nutritionist known as America's top foundational health coach. She's an alternative health pioneer for 42 years with over 30,000 clients to lose weight, over 1 million. Is that 1 million, Dr. Jody?
That's right.
1,000,000 pounds of toxic fat, and she's helped them keep it off. So it's not just losing weight, but helping them keep it off. In the
Mhm.
COVID era, she assisted over 3,000 clients to reverse the degeneration and regain their health. So these people were dealing with degenerative issues. She helped reverse these degeneration issues and help them regain their health. Health isn't something that you do. You're going to hear a lot more about that, but it's what you become along life's journey. She's a board member of the Advocacy Council for Alternative Medicine Practitioners, and she remains in the inner circle of holistic innovation to empower the next generation of healers. Dr. Jody has a passion to transfer tools that will help us be our very best selves in life. What you do in your daily life maintains you. What you create in your daily habits sustain you. These are quotes that she lives by. Welcome, Dr. Jody Baer, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
And welcome, 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 because you do that. What you do in your daily life, hosting this show, being a Telly Award winner, Kim, you live that balance and you live that healthy lifestyle with you and your family as well. So
Aw.
I said today, my husband asked me, he said, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm going live with my sister.
And you know what? I feel like we have a soul connection. So
Yes.
I'm excited when I get the opportunity to have you grace us with your presence. So we're going to have a great show today, as you always come with tremendous information. So I'm excited about it. And I'm trying to think of where to even start, because I know that you are really big into alternative health. So let's go back for a minute and just talk about what made you even passionate about that field of interest.
Well, my first, Kim, and that's a great question. My first inclination was when, and you know that being a mother of five, when I found myself with my first bun in the oven. I went to a La Leche League meeting because I knew that I wanted to give didn't know it was my son, but my baby the best start in life. I walked in to that meeting, Kim, and there were two things on that. Now, these are women that are bearing babies, have had
Right.
babies. And I walked and looked at that dining room table, and it was two food groups, additives and preservatives. That was it. And at that point, when I was in my 20s, I had less filter than what I have now. I've learned to have more filter as I've gained it. And I said, what are we all doing here? We're going to put this in this.
Right.
And I did not know that the international president was at the meeting. And she said, if you are so adamant about this, why don't you do something about it? And I went and got my first certification in health coaching. Frankly, yeah, that is a very important premise. If you feel passionate about something, you, ladies and gentlemen, are being called.
That's
so
good.
You can turn that passion into fruition. And that's what I did. Little did I know, 2 years later, I'm on baby number 2. And my mother gives me this phone call, the one that you get, and it just drops you to your knees.
Right.
And my mother said, Jody, I have bad news. This is landline days, 1981.
Right.
She said, they've given me 6 weeks to live.
Oh my, I've never heard you say this
No,
on
yes,
any
yes.
type of.
Yes. And after I rolled the toilet paper off the roll, then I told my then husband, who was not my husband at the time, we were married, and I said, I've got to go back to Montana, living in Atlanta at the time. And I found the keys in my little Laurel, Montana public library. And it was ancient. Well, they were pretty ancient, 200 years old.
Okay.
Some holistic protocols by Edgar Cayce. And I was able to give my mother, even in that stage 4 pancreatic and liver cancer, I was able to give her years and length of life, way beyond her 6 weeks to live diagnosis, Kim. And when she was transitioning from this world into the next,
Wow.
She held my hands and she said, Jody, give others hope the way you've given it to me. That's how I began.
That is such an amazing testimony to hear your mom, in her transitioning moment say that you gave her hope.
Yes.
And she felt like had extended life, all because you went into like a deep dive mode to really try to find some holistic measures for her. So
Yes.
that I never knew that. So that catapulted you into a new direction.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I mean, and I had the pleasure. It was like one step when I said, if you've been called, if you feel that nowhere like I did at that Leche League meeting, you will be equipped. And this book is a transition of this, because what happened then, I needed to have something to really get my youngest son in gear, who is me with testosterone. Okay. I'm just saying. And they were saying he had ADHD. I'm just saying, no. And I ran into Hulda Clark. At that point, I thought Dr. Hulda Clark was ancient. Wow. Actually, Kim, she was 70. She was 1 year older than I am. Oh. And I said, you must help me. She said, I don't mentor people anymore. I said, you're going to mentor me. And I pressed in because of what I saw with La Leche League, because of what I saw with my mother, that the body put it any condition can, and it will regenerate. It will heal itself. And that's when Dr. Hulda Clark took me under wing. The rest is history. The rest is history.
And so she did step back out of retirement, help you, mentor you, and officially take you under her wings.
Yes, I raised my hand. I said, you're going to mentor me. You're going to mentor me. And that's why I feel in my arena now, Kim, I want to empower others. Now, I'll tell you that there are no coincidences. There were no coincidences that I didn't think I was going to make it to Les Brown's Inner Circle coaching meeting last year. And there you were. I said, I got to have me some of that energy at Kim Jacobs. There are no coincidences in life. Then I was a single mom, sole supportive of my 2 sons, and they were 15 and 17. The one thing about 15 and 17 was their ages, Kim, boys, but that was the size of their feet. And, and a size 15 and 18, being 15 and 17 years old, they took a lot of food. And I had a very wonderful position with a company, Downturn. I was the product of the cutback. And I saw my income go from multiple double figures, like in the tens of thousands of dollars per month in the 90s to not. Wow. And I went into myself like that. See, for every obstacle, ladies and gentlemen, there is a solution. You adapt and overcome.
So you believe that obstacles turn into opportunities.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's a huge belief of yours. So this obstacle, which was like mega amounts of money at that time and during those years, was something that you actually turned it into an opportunity. And how did you do that?
I sat down my sons and I said, we're going to make a transition. And are you ready? Are you ready to be a part of this? So what do we got to do? Now, this is mid 90s. We had one computer and it was dial up on AOL. Wow. So I didn't have any other choice. Then I said, in my music, I went back to my past experience. When you adapt and overcome, go to your past experiences, go to that thing that revives you, that excites you, that ignites you to say my publisher's name of the company, Ignite Publishing. But this is what happened, Kim. I hand wrote, I'm thinking, okay, Handel wrote the Messiah in 21 days. I can write this, what's on my heart and mind, for 21 days. See, because I was training in someone else's company and was giving them all of mine. Now it was time to give it back to me. In 21 days, I had handwritten the coursework, got into the studio, because I was classically trained vocal musician. You know about that. I'm just going to use the microphone from singing to talking. I put out my CD set, those days in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Did that. And then the next thing you know, I had a company, Creative Solutions. I had the privilege of over 200 NCAA schools that took my coursework. Wow. I had thousands of companies, the Department of Defense. It just took off. But the thing that didn't take off was my lifestyle, Kim. The balance doctor, you know that. I was out on Monday, back on Friday. And this guy by the name of Bob Baer came in my life. Remember?
Okay.
And he proposed to me with terms and conditions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He said,
what were some of those terms? Tell us about Bob Baer's terms.
Those terms. I love you, baby, but I don't love an airport. And so it took me like 0.03 seconds to just go back and say to my then regional managers, would you like to buy my company? They bought my company. I became
Wait. You're going. Wait, Dr. Joe D, calm down for a minute. Let me understand. The company that had let you go for whatever happened,
yeah,
is the same company that you went back after you mastered all of this other work and came up with this coursework and curriculum and different things. You went back to that company and sold it to them. Is that what you're saying?
No, I actually had my company. I probably didn't. I got excited, didn't really explain that real well. You know, that squirrel brain here. So that company let me go. I created my own company,
Right.
built it to an 8-figure annual business.
Yes.
Went ahead because it's like my great friend Maynard Neal, who's a Les Brown aficionado, yes, because you can. Marcus Black says, because you can. I knew that I could make a company, Creative Solutions, not spelled with a C. It was spelled with a K. Who said it had to be spelled with a C? Who said that you can't be the next best thing and be a balanced doctor and be a Telly Award winning The Kim Jacobs Show and have that up here with the microphone? Who says that you can't? Who says? And what happened is I sold my company, my 8-figure annual company, to my regional managers. So that allowed me to go and be Mrs. Bob Baer, because I knew that that's what I wanted to be.
Wow.
And now, this is 2010 when we got married. What happened in 2020? The pandemic.
The pandemic hits, and lots of things happened to lots of people that were life-changing, and things that we can never even go back and reverse, because many people, I think it's over 1 million, I don't know the stats at this point, lost their lives. They transitioned from this earth, which left a lot of families.
Lots and lots. And I can say that in that time, Kim, and I'm not making any medical claims again or anything else, I have had the privilege of working with one of my partners, and we were absolutely able to give a holistic remedy, that an antiviral that assisted 100,000 people during COVID. Now that's just a little sidelight.
So because the pandemic time actually kind of resurrected some of your work, right?
Yes, it did.
Wow. Okay.
And and it resurrected me from retirement, because my husband said to me, I'd sold my company, and he said, so how much yoga are you going to do? And he said, people need you. I mean, I'm thinking, I went through the alibis, but I don't have this, I don't have that. But one thing I did have, Kim, is I had my 7 years of coursework, getting my ABD for my PhD.
Yes.
And guess what I found? I found that coursework that I wrote in the 90s, still handwritten. You know how we cleaned out closets rather than watch Netflix?
That's interesting you're saying this stuff, because I did something, literally, I found this recently, How to Start and Succeed in the Seminar Business. And it is some good stuff on here that Les Brown and I were teaching back in, what year was this? This was like in 2006 or something, when we were traveling the country teaching people how to start their own seminar business. So I'm going to get this downloaded. You all tell me if you want it. If you don't want it, I won't be getting it downloaded.
We want it. We want it.
But this 2-CD set is a 2-CD set. I'm going to get it downloaded for people and in a downloadable form, and get it going some kind of way. I'll figure this out. But I was like, it's some good stuff that we did back in the earlier days.
It was good stuff, and putting those CDs in the car and having that roving university and all of that. But in the meantime, what I had done, being on the road, out on Monday, back on Friday, I did my coursework for my PhD. And you know me, Kim, I never do one thing at a time. I just don't. And so I'm thinking, as I'm cleaning out this closet, like you found the CDs from Les and you, and you go, now this is good stuff. I found that treasure trove of me handwriting this. I'm going, this is my dissertation. Because I had never taken the time long enough, because you have to be in that writing. So I was able to defend my dissertation, got that completed in December. And then I looked at my husband again, because my husband, Kim, has 12 international best-selling books. There's only one person on planet Earth that's an expert like he is. You know where he lives?
Where?
In Burma, in a cave.
In Burma, in a cave? What?
In a cave. And Bob Baer, not in a cave. Okay. Bob Baer in Florida, our archaeologist in Burma in a cave.
Well,
And
wait, I have to show Bob Baer for a minute because he's pretty amazing young man there standing by your side. I thought that was such a cute picture. Y'all are just enjoying nature, which you seem to do a lot, and I love
yes,
that.
we just finished a 10-mile hike that day.
That is awesome. That I see a lot of fancier photos, but I love that one because it's like,
Well, 69 and 81, we're holding our own there.
oh, y'all look good. That is amazing. Hey, Mr. Bob Baer. I had to pop you up.
Bob Baer. And when I asked him, because I mean, he has a book that he wrote for the Department of Defense. I could go on and on. It's in the permanent archives in the Library of Congress.
Wow.
And these things. So I looked at him and I said, do you think I can take my dissertation and make it a book like you did about the ancient Spanish monasteries of William Randolph Hearst? And he said, well, it's better than it just being a very thick paperweight or a placemat on the dining room table.
Right.
So that's what we began at commencing. And that's how, although we changed the name from my company back in Creative Solutions, because even though my royalties were done and I had 10 years of royalties, I wanted to be respectful. So it became the 21 days to your best you, the keys for a life of excellence. That's how it came about.
Oh my goodness. So this is how the book, 21 Days to Your Best You. And we're going to talk about some tips that's shared throughout this book and just her overall philosophy about how to become your best you. And that's what this episode is about today with you know what I'm talking, but my cheeks are burning because I'm so happy that you brought this book to life. And it's so, we have so many different things. I have manuscripts, coaches, you name it. I have all kinds of stuff. Here's like some stuff that I've been writing, and my coaches will reach out and be like, Kim, can you please get us the final manuscript? I have multiple books that are sitting here ready to go. And it's just a matter of taking some time and typing up what I want to type up and getting it over to my coaches so we can be done with it. But to see you get that thing out, dust it off, and make it 21 days is absolutely nothing short of amazing. So I'm excited about it. Very excited that you finally made this happen. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come right back to hear more about 21 days to your best you. I want to say to your, but it's for you. Best you. Okay. We'll be right back.
I have peace of mind with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment or home or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
Dr. Dee Baer, the author of 21 Days to Your Best You. All right. So when we talk about this book, I think it would be really beneficial for people to know you have a lot of different philosophies. One is definitely to believe it's for real. Talk about it.
And Kim, because you believe, and why is it 21 days? I just want to interject the underpinnings of this, because there are whole numbers. There's 137. We know that's Les Brown's favorite number because it's the divine number. Then you go 1421. There are 21 days to create that circadian rhythm and a habit. We've heard that, but you think, okay, there's a cycle with women in 21 days because we ovulate. There's a spiritual cycle. There's a mental cycle. There's an everything cycle. I built my whole practice around the 6 pillars of human existence. You've heard me. If I've been on Kim's show, it's spiritual, then physical. Physical's right under, because you can have all the spiritualness, and if your physical body in here, you're not going to be here. Then it's mental, emotional, social, and financial. So what we talked about day number 1, and this is a precursor. It's a long chapter. Why? Because we're laying the foundations for all of the other 20 days. Believe it starts with belief. And the word 21 days to be your best you. We have taken the word be and we just have the be, because we're so involved in this American culture of all the do. We're do. When you're in the be, then the do comes easier and you can have anything you want.
I love it. I love that philosophy. When you're in the be,
yes,
then other things can start to kind of surface and happen because but how do you be in the be?
Mindful. It's a moment by moment being of saying, I will stay centered. I will say, because it's just like I said earlier on, they adapt and overcome. Life is going to life on you. But
Yes.
what do you do in those moments of just being still?
That's good.
We're both spiritual women, to be in that spiritual moment, to list from that download, because things that happen to you happen for you. As I already quoted, our conduit here, Les, you got to listen. I hope you're listening to this episode because you're just all over this. Thank you, Les. But that being, because there's a reason why it goes ABCs. Okay. It's
good.
All about you, so you can be what you need to be with belief. And then you can conceive anything you want. And then you go to the next next letter of the alphabet is do. And then guess what? After D is, hello, Jay Nolan.
Hey, Jay Nolan, how are you?
And then you can have the excellence that you were always designed to be. But what is that next letter after excellence? It is faith. That's where that is. Yes. A through F are just where it is. It's where it is with you. It's where it is with me. And then when you being in that B, I just want to lay this, because I am a master marathoner. I've done 14 marathons. Before the pandemic, I was listed as number 18th in the nation in nationally ranked Olympic distance triathlon.
That's why you're America's top foundational health coach, right? That is a real term.
Because I want to do what I'm doing here. Now, the foundations of living, comparing to others, no, you run your race. I always ran my race. I always knew what my gifts, my abilities, and I believed in what the creator of all had given me and my beliefs. And then you could go to day number 2.
Wait. Before you go to day number 2, because I want to go back to running that race for a minute. When people are running a race, I like the fact that you said running your own race. And I did a whole video series on that as well. Why do you think it's important to run our own races at the pace that we run it? Just talk about that from your perspective.
You know your own pace. It is your own DNA. And when you start doing the comparison game, you start running in someone else's lane. And you will get DQ'd, as we say in the running. You will get disqualified every time. Every time, because if you believe, back to day 1, and this really is a handbook, Kim, because at the end, I've given 6 lines where you can make your bullet points. I'm really in the belief of writing it down with this pen, because that is a kinesthetic, it's an auditory, it's a visualization of your goals. So make those notes so that it becomes your life handbook. So then you know you've got your belief. You're going to go ahead and do that thing that was you were meant to, that calling, which you're going to be equipped. Then you run your own race and say, with your belief in your physical body, all right, what are the things that I can do that nobody else can do? Show me. And then you begin to be your best. I got to say, I put this story in there. Now, after those 2 babies, sure, I ran the 5,000 meters in college. I was the first class of Title IX, but I didn't run when I was pregnant. I didn't run 5 months after. So I really began from couch potato to half marathon at that point.
Wow, that's very inspiring.
My youngest was 6 months old. I said, I got to get back at this. But it was really couch potato to half marathon. And what I found in this was running my own race. Be your best. Give yourself permission to have this day number 2, to be the most exciting, adventurous day that you can ever have, ever, because there'll never be another day like this, but there will never be another you.
And that's what I believe. Everything that you're saying so far, I 100% support, and believe. There's no one else created on this earth like you. And the entire world misses out if you don't get an opportunity to bring your value, your gifts, your talents to the world, because somebody needs those gifts, but they need to hear them from you. Not everybody hears from each person the same. So some people are assigned to Dr. Dee Baer, some are assigned to me, some are assigned to you that's watching today. So you have to get up and start running your race. And I do agree with everything that Dr. Dee Baer is saying. So be the best you is what you're talking about, right?
Yes. And then when you're being the best, day number 3, I say, because I am a believer, there are four gospels in the New Testament. Who says, now that you know your record fever, you know your belief, who says that you can't write the 5th gospel, which is according to the gospel of Kim, the gospel of Jody, the gospel of you?
There definitely would be the gospel of Mother Julia Harper. I can tell you that, because she's been a saint in everybody's lives that she's ever been a part of.
There you go. So let's go and write our own gospel, because you, just like a coin toss, you have a choice: procrastinate or do, belief or non-belief, success or failure, heads or tails. You have a choice every single day. And I want to digress and say, because of the circadian rhythms, 21 days to your best you, it's divided with 7 days. It's about you and you. Because when your transformation is an inside job, then we move into days 8 through 14. It's about you and others. Then you can move out into that. And then the last 7 days are you and the world. It's not just the world, it's you and your world. You and your world.
I love this. So you and you, and we talked so far about believing it's real, and also the foundations for kind of just living at record pace type of thing, and then being your best you. And that's all focusing on you. Then also just identifying, you said some things that's internal. I would love for you to talk about that, the foundations of the self-esteem.
Self-esteem, because self-esteem is self-imposed. Self-esteem is self-analysis. And it can only become self-giving when you've done the work for the inside work for self-transformation. Period. It's so easy. So do this exercise, ladies and gentlemen, when you get up in the morning. Now, ladies, we've got an edge because we stare at the mirror and we do the eyelashes, do the lipstick, do the cheeks, do the thing. But men shave. But if we ever gone ahead and looked in the mirror, and I'm talking about 69-year-old body, butt naked as the day I was born, and no makeup and hair. Look in the mirror tonight. Look in the mirror in the morning and say, I love me some of you. I love me some of you.
Let's everybody take a minute right now, and let me put you over here. Hold on. We're gonna do. I'm a big role play person, so we're gonna do this now. Okay, hold on. We'll put you over here, and I want you to be as dramatic as you can about you loving some you. Okay. All right. Okay. Teach us, Dr. Jody.
I love me some of my Jody. I love me some of my eyes, my non-eyelashes, my lips, my cheeks, my arms, my hands that do the work that the creator of all has made and meant me to do. I love my inner soul. I love my belly from whence I birthed my 2 sons. I love my female parts because you made me and created me in your image. I love the kind of legs that can walk and talk, because there was one day for 6 months, Jody, that you did not walk because you were paralyzed. Father, I thank you. You've given me my legs to walk, my feet to do, and my toes that I can move those pinkies so I can do what I was meant for you and you created me to do, to create goodness, wholeness, and excellence in your kingdom.
Wow. Listen, if you want to come on screen and do that same exercise, I'll be honored to bring you on. All you have to do is copy and paste that into your browser. It'll bring you right onto the broadcast. But that is an excellent example of what we should be doing to love on ourselves, to build our self-esteem back up. If you're having some self-esteem issues, look at what God created in you.
Yes.
You're
because
somebody.
It just own it, because when you own it, there is something, and I've got to say, not only am I blessed and honored that our Les Brown has written the foreword for my book, but Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD of Love, Medicine, and Miracles, endorsed the back cover. And he said, because we're doing a memoir project with him and for him and his family. I can truthfully say, when he said to me, if you love every inch of your body daily, your self-esteem will automatically grow.
Yeah, I do what you're saying anyway in the mirror.
Yes.
And my mom and different, well, not everybody, my other kids don't see this, but my mom sometimes she'll be like, "What are you doing?" She said, "Who are you talking to?" I was like, "I'm talking to me. I'm in here talking to myself." And I'll
I'm
play
talking to me.
music and I'll be like, "Hey, because the God created me, and I love who He created me to be. Not in any kind of cocky, arrogant kind of
No,
way,
no,
but
no.
just like in a grateful, thankful. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, you thought enough of me
Yes.
to make me exist. And look at that. What a wonderful thing it is to be created and to be chosen to be able to make a difference in somebody's lives. Who
Yes.
knows whose life you're changing? But it's just honorable. And the least I can do is say thank you. Thank
Thank you.
you for choosing me. I appreciate that so much. And so I hope that
Absolutely.
comes across.
Oh, and thank you for making me, and thank me for doing me, because nobody else can do what you can do. And it's just that simple, that self-esteem, because it comes out. Then the law of attraction comes in, and then we're moving in. I had to have a couple of musical analogies. Day 5 is really be in tune with you. Because I know, being a professional musician, you go in and you hear all these notes, and before you go to the orchestra, it's just total chaos.
Yeah.
But then the concert violinist comes out and gives the concert A, and the whole orchestra tunes to the concert A. That, after you've done your self-love in the foundations of self-esteem, what is your concert A? What is your one note that you can only do what you can do? And when you remind yourself daily, and I'm a big one, and I call them VVMs. My action coach, one of my coaches, Bob Leeshauser, calls them VVMs: visualize, verbalize, and then you mentally are saying these and mentally making that meditative pinpoint on this, and pinpoint of what am I going to do on that, getting in tune with me. What is that one center? We talk, Ivan knows this, being a fitness trainer. Now, you talk about your core. You need a strong core so you can physically be. If no strong core means that the concert day is missing. Get that strong core so you can stand. I think the being in tune with you really got missed majorpt.com, Ivan Jacobs.
Yeah, you had mentioned them, so I thought I'd go ahead and at least put that up there.
Oh, yes. We love I love some of my Ivan Jacobs. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing something very soon. But the deal is this. If you come into that concert A, you come into that tune, because for me, I think this is what we lost during the pandemic that we must get back, because sitting is the new smoking. It is absolutely, colon health has gone topping lung health, because we're couch potatoes. You get up and be able to mentally be in tune with you. And thank you for putting on ConfidenceTones.com. There is nothing on planet Earth that will make you come in, and that tool to come in tune with you, to listen to the binaural, the solfeggio, the isochronic, gamma, delta, and every other absolute alphabet of a tone, to really up your frequency. You ever been around somebody that is just out of tune?
Oh,
You
yeah.
know it, don't you?
You know it immediately, but what can you do about it? And if they don't know it, or if I don't know it, because if I don't recognize it in my own self, then how can you correct something that you don't even know is problematic?
And you see it in another. This is so segueing into you and others. You see how one day is built upon another day. And frankly, I believe that when you see somebody that's out of harmony, somebody that's out of focus, that you go ahead and play your concert A and bring that back. It's like I had somebody who had a supply chain situation, and the order wasn't shipped.
Right.
I didn't know that our supplier was out. They didn't notify me. I got a real like bristly email, one of those.
Right.
Well, I didn't even thought you even remembered me. I said, of course I remembered you when we got our products back in stock. And here's a little extra thank you for the wait. She melted like peanut butter and jelly in a warm microwave oven.
You warm your peanut butter and jelly?
No. And I don't use a microwave either. I don't know where that came from.
Right. Do you do that? Okay. Anyway, but let me ask this question. That was a total digression. But I wanted to find out for people that are tone deaf, and I don't want to put myself in that category, but people that don't even hear certain keys, like you said, finding your symphony A and so forth. What do you recommend for people like that? That don't even, they're not like make a joyful noise unto the Lord, but it's like, I can't sing. I don't know
you can make that joy because that is your tone. And I'll tell you something, when I was studying music back in Minnesota, I had the most prolific composer who was my music theory teacher. He was tone deaf. And you know what he said about this?
What?
Dr. Winston Kassler. Haven't thought about him for years. And
I
Dr.
can't believe
Winston,
you know all of these names like that. Wow, you're like just rattling off all of these people's names. Okay, what did he say?
And Dr. Winston Kassler said, just because I'm tone deaf doesn't mean I can't play my own notes.
Go, Dr. Kassler. You said Dr. Kassler?
Yes.
Are you my kind of guy? So we can create our own note.
Yes. And they're joyful because it's only you can make those notes. Only you can do this. Only you can do this. And through your imagination, which I'm just giving little cliff notes. If you want to know the risk, guess what? You got to go get the book.
You got to go get the book. But we're going to talk about imagination right when we come back.
Perfect.
And hear more about confidence tones next. Then we're going to come back and hear about using your imagination. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
All right, everyone. And again, that's Confidence Tones is today's episode sponsor. And if you'd like to learn more about Confidence Tones, you can definitely reach out to Dr. Dee Baer, who just happens to be here today. Okay. But you can she sponsors anyway. But anyway, you can reach out to her at 800-820-0584, or you can visit drjoed.com, drjoed.com. And you will learn more about confidence tones and how you can get yours today. All right, so we're back, and I didn't want to not play your commercial because I play it every day anyway. All right, welcome, Dr. Jody. And we're talking today with the new author who has already hit international bestseller on Amazon, 21 Days to Your Best You. So talk to us about imagination. You were talking right before the break.
And when it was so perfect, I love synergy. You heard the word synergy, those synergistic tones. So but I'm tone deaf. I can't hear this, but you can hear the synergy of those tone, that audio brain immersion. I'm telling you, the best gift that you can give yourself is to focus on you and have the noise distraction. Just like the daily distraction. Yes, I'm a big part of Facebook. I knew I wanted to get us out of social media, but start with you first. Yes. And when you go to my website, I'll say there are many blogs that I've written, one of which is 10 Rituals to Rock Your Day, but you can get, because it's ready to go live, We didn't get the drop-down menu. We didn't even get the drop-down menu. So I've got to capture your email address. So I would just say, please go to drjody.com. Just sign up for notifications, but go into my blog site. And we've called these 6 pillars of human existence throughout the book. We're calling it 6 tidbits. 6 tidbits. So you can go ahead and you can have those on the run. And the big tidbit now is imagination. You know, the word, Kim, inside of imagination is image. And it starts with the synergistic confidence tones. You hear those frequencies, you come in and you can see that somebody is in disharmony. So you say, I'm going to choose my harmony and stay in my own running lane, my own tone, whether it's in tune or not, it's your tone, your uniqueness. And I tell the story and in my own way. And I got it from my coach and mentor, the best of the best in personal development, Jay Nolan, who came on the screen.
I'm so excited.
That was so nice of him. Hey, coach. And he said,
he has a great book too, by the way. So definitely at some point acknowledge that book as well.
Oh, Science of Getting Rich. There are so many things about his universal edition of Wallace D. Wattles that I quote in the book. And I went back to his Think and Grow Rich Mastery course and brought out the story of the copper kettle, because this young man brought forth, he said, that image. He talks about the image that he wanted to do something in his life no matter what.
That's right.
Now, the pharmacist had this copper kettle. He didn't have time to make this into fruition, but that's that time. And I'm gonna quote the Coach Jay on this one. And he said,
Coach Jay Nolan,
all out, all in. NMW stands for no matter what. That young man did that. He gave his life savings way back when. And guess what? That formula inside the copper kettle was the formula for Coca-Cola.
Wow.
Yeah, never know. And because think about those OPOs. I'm going to quote another Coach Jay thing. OPO, other people's opinion. Who says that their opinions need to be yours? Take the advice, know which to sidestep and which to go on. Because don't you know that there were people with this young man said $500 back at the turn of the 20th century, 1900s. That was a lot of money.
A lot, yes.
You know, it would be like $100,000. And people said, oh, what did you do? Oh, it's not going to work. But he stayed true to his course and he avoided, which is day number 7, avoiding emotional sunburn.
I love it. I was thinking this has to be a transition to chapter 7.
You know me so well. And we probably could go on here for, I was looking at the time, my goodness, we're just going to have to come back and just breathe over that. You got the first 7 days, come back and get the last 14. But how important this is when you're out and you're enjoying the moment and perhaps you haven't layered on that enough insulation on your body, those OPOs, and all of a sudden you get sunburned. You don't realize you're sunburned until you go inside and take a shower and it hurts. And that's good. Some people like, you know, that nod that you do when the pastor's kind of long and you're sitting here and the sermon's kind of long or the conference is kind of long and you do that like that. Nod. Or you go ahead and you say, oh my goodness, you mean to tell me when I got my pictures for the photos for the book, I didn't even realize that I hadn't changed one earring. And so we had to Photoshop the earrings and we said, those Southwest Airlines want to get away moments. You know those. It was like, oh, but if
we all have them. And even when you're talking about sunburn, most people think that's, you know, certain nationalities that deal with sunburn. But believe it or not, I've experienced sunburn and I'm like, so it's still important to protect the skin no matter what your race, nationality, religion, none of that. So it's like some of this stuff that you're talking about in the book is foundational for every generation and every nationality.
Because and it's physical sunburn, but it's emotional sunburn, it's mental sunburn, and it's staying true to yourself. So then you can move on to others and say, what is your burning desire? What is your burning desire? How do I give mutual respect, which is day number 9, to others by respecting myself? Then we go into the keys of greatness and some very detailed things that I got from my coach. I'm giving him honor and respect for this, about goal setting that's unlike anything I'd ever done before. Because you see, you have these people that come in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. Kim, you came into my life for a reason and a season. I believe it's for a lifetime. Because we just feed off each other and realize and covet those relationships. And you do this as you move up with your goal setting of doing these goal cards is as easy as this is on blue. Yes. And Amazon's going to make some more money. Jeff Bezos is going to make some more money.
Yeah.
Blue note cards, because you do that goal once a month. Jay taught me this 11 years ago. And when I was a woman who thought, because I had a personal situation with my husband's health, that I really didn't feel like I really had much of an impact outside of what I was doing in my life. Right. And we didn't do it, we're doing GoToMe's. The whole technology has changed. But that person that is that balcony person that makes you feel real, relevant, as you say, on and relatable, as you say on the Kim Jacobs show.
Yes.
That's what it's all about with goal setting. And I want to, because this one is just so important to me. I want to go to day number 12.
Day number 12.
Opportunity, luck, or just be like David. If you just think all this is like, I don't know about this, whatever. I go at length. I spend 5 or 6 pages just dissecting the story of David. Now, he didn't look like the rest of the clan because he had red hair. His skin was different than his brothers. And all he did was that he wanted to honor, and he was really like the modern day Uber driver.
That's right. That's a good description.
He just drove those sheep. And he knew that he was going to be faithful on making sure that his daddy's real estate stayed intact.
That's right. One assignment. It was his intellectual property. And he had a lot of time to learn a lot of things. He had a little side gig. He learned how to play the harp or whatever, but he got real good at one thing. It was that slingshot. Now, when you come into the story, when you think that he just woke up one day and said, I think I'm going to be king of Israel. Do you think he had to think about, do you think that I've been equipped for that? No, he stepped into his role because of all the 11 days that we talked about, all the 11 days that he built himself up with his foundations, with you and you incorporated. And also when he needed some OPO from his fellow soldiers, his brothers, they said, I think the OPO, the other people's opinion, I think you need to put on this armor. That would be no. I don't know how to use a sword. I just know that he was confident. Yes. And he was confident enough that he declared it. Don't you think? And he wasn't thinking about that when he was doing the sheep, but that's right. He knew that he was unconscious, competent enough that he said, today, Goliath, you're going to be mine. That one thing that I'm gifted at doing, I'm going to put it into use today. And I know how to make sure that this slingshot, that this can go right into my target if I don't do nothing else. So that's no nothing dumb else. Luck there.
No dumb luck there. No, nothing. So what is your target? What is the thing that you can do? Because when you know what that thing is, then you can amass self-discipline. You can amass that thing, and it's more than time management. It's you management.
Well, what is foundations of self-discipline? Talk to us about that.
The foundations of self-discipline, it's as easy as, now I'm one of these people, since I was in grade school, I laid out my clothes for the next day. That's just me, because I get distracted. I lay out my running clothes got laid out by my bed. Like my husband said, you don't know what you're going to put on when you go out for your morning run. I said, but it makes me feel good. Preparation will beat anything about being spontaneous. When you prepare, like when I did all of those, the touring and the consulting and being a single mom with these 2 elite athletes, they knew when I came in, they knew that Carl and Evan's mom, at the beginning of swim season, you best have that calendar ready. And when these swim meets are, because it's going to be in my calendar now. And because I needed to take care of the most important thing, me, my family. Do this, ladies and gentlemen, for through the weekend and for next week for 7 days. See whether it will not rock your world. Come in with the 6 most important things. Write them down the night before, not the 65, because you will be overwhelmed. There's a number about 6. When you get it done, you go to the number 6 is doing to completion, and 7 is the number of completion. You will have empowerment about this. Do your weekly plan, even though it's going to be different, because life's on you. You've got to make some adjustments and alter things, but you go in and coordinate it, color-coded to your faith, your family, your career. And I always put my self-care time. 2023 is the year of self-care. And I will tell you, I have my meditation time, which I do twice daily to keep me the best that I can be.
Yes.
I did a 10-minute meditation before we came on so I could be clear, concise, and just, and honor the space with you, Kim. That's what I do. Then I do that in the afternoon as well, according to the circadian rhythm. There you go.
And I look in my Bible. I have different scriptures that are really more like motivational scriptures for me.
Yes.
Already
Yes.
earmarked and ready to go, because I want to inspire myself by what I believe God is trying to say in my spirit. This is
inspire yourself. You'll inspire others. And
tell me this, because I make sure, are these your sons? Because I was trying to find.
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes. That was back in their swim days. You love that?
I love this. I saw this on one of your social media pages, and I said, "That's Mom handling her business."
That was Mom. It was right smack dab in the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. There they were, and of course, my youngest Evan, being the kidder that he was, he went like this to his brother's hair, and they just had it stand up just to look like crazy. And now I've just got I've got 5 grandchildren, and there you go. So the idea is to go ahead. Even I'm going to say one thing about, and I'm being mindful on time here, mentorship and mastermind. If I hadn't have said yes to Coach Jay Noland when we were in that clubhouse room, and little did I know I was the opening act before Les Brown spoke for 30 minutes.
Wow.
And Jay texted me. He said, "You get into that program. Just say yes to your mentor. Say yes, because they have paved the way. They know the way. They will show the way." And then find yourself with that group that are, as Les says, a like-minded, just concerted, heartfelt servant leaders that are community-minded, that will speak and feel the same way. And guess what happens then when you get into you and your world? Tension, because of your awareness and frequency. Like I said, Kim, when I met you, it was love at first frequency side. I didn't say sight. It had to be the frequency that I felt in this laptop life. So it was the frequency that I felt. So then you can say, okay, tension, just melt away, because that's not who I am. Remember that girl, that guy in the mirror? You know what you have to do. And then you can go in and say, as the Egyptians, the foundations of relationships, they had a key to civilization because the ancient Egyptians had 7 fat years with 7 lean, but they built up during the 7 fat years.
Yes.
So they weren't stressed with tension.
Right.
They weren't stressed with tension in the 7 years. What a great way to lean it out. And then actually, Just Don't Quit really is a motivational piece. Okay. And we don't have, I'm mindful of time. We're going into our natural computer. I go in because I do have a degree in psycho and neurolinguistics, another master's degree. So I go into the personality type. It's just not like my personality, but it's how do I get into your personality? Because when I'm confident with me, and people are going to say, well, Jody, is there anything about health in all of this? This is all health.
All health, the entire book. It is all, because when you can go ahead and I can get into you, Kim, because I'm confident in me, then I become that charismatic leader that I wasn't born to be. They've never said that charismatic leader born this day, April 13th, 2023, but they will say it in an obituary because they have been created. You can do that by being a true heart-centered, others-driven, because I'm
making sure that my oxygen mask is on. And
Yes.
then I take care of others in my world. And you can really do what I believe in business and in life. There's a P&L, but it doesn't stand for profit and loss. It stands for people and love.
I love that. People and love. Then your final chapter will culminate with being what? A human
Becoming. Because Leo Buscaglia says that we are spiritual beings in a human experience.
That is so wonderful.
And if we can, when, not if, when we focus on the spiritual, remember it started with spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. You go ahead and you focus on the spiritual. As Dr. Bernie Siegel says, I was so honored that he said, you are a healer. You are a soulful human being. I know the book will do and be the same.
Wow.
And,
mad pandemonium. So listen, 21 days to your best you, and you can get a copy of the I want you to tell people from the pre-order perspective, right?
yes, what I'm doing, you can go to drjodie.com. There's a drop-down menu, pick up a book at a discount. It will be delivered to you after our launch, which we're doing a 4-day launch. We're starting at May 4th.
Okay.
We're going through the 5th, 6th, and then of course, Kim Jacobs, she'll be speaking on Sunday when we have a virtual summit to celebrate. It's called The Life of Excellence. We're going to be a Life of Excellence seminar, and then we'll celebrate after May 7th, as we've hit, who knows where we're going to go, how high we can go. Who do you know? I've got people lined up in Germany, Netherlands, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, people in India, people in Canada, of course, in Mexico, in the US. You can join and get notifications of all these events, notifications of being a part of this tribe. And you can get notifications that I just know, Miss Kim Jacobs, you've got to speak, because when you speak, people listen, because you are the balanced doctor. Go ahead and get your copy of the 21 Days of Tidbit Wisdom. It's located on the blogs, so you can start living your life and being your best you. And Kim, I want to just, I know we're going over. I just want to get one little last bit if I can.
Wait, before you do that, let me say this. You have been chosen to be on Business Innovators magazine. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge that. That is a huge accomplishment. And so I do want to recognize you and celebrate you for this. Congratulations.
Yes, and you know, I'm a health coach. I guess I didn't do the slideshow thing right, but you get that. It's like, okay, business innovators, business trendsetters, and Authority Press Wire. We were picked up by 35 million viewers yesterday with our book, because see, it's about you. I know that this is about you and you in your world. You had a time in your life where, like me in the mid 90s, your income went from this to this. You have that time, but what you did to get from this again to this defines you, and it will refine you. Because in this book, Kim, this is a Pandora's box. You will take what you need, leave the rest. All you need to do is just turn the key. Wow. And I'm here to help you turn that key, because I am Dr. Jodie.
She's going to help you turn that key, because she is Dr. Jodie. 21 days to your best you. I did not, in this episode today, which is the first time in a long time, did not go through my studio audience comments. So I am going to take about 2 to 3 minutes just to give some quick splattering of all of my comments from a flash round. Let's put some of them up for a minute, Mackenzie, because we cannot end the show without hearing from our virtual studio audience who makes the show what it is today. Pop some of the comments up. Okay, let me see. I will go over here and get to these comments, because there's been a lot of comments. You all have been active participants, and I didn't want to not take a moment. Oh, yeah. Okay. Mackenzie said, hey, Sheree, another health coach that you would like. Okay. Hopefully you got the participation, Sherry, from Mackenzie. Somebody asked a question. Were there not any resources for you back in the day whenever you were trying to turn your obstacles into opportunities, like Section 8 or food stamps or anything like that?
No, because I made just enough money not to qualify. I
Okay.
made just enough money so that I was on my own. And guess what? My own made me get the food stamps and the shelter that I needed.
Wow. And Lady Anderson says she wrote a great book too, The 21 Days. It's a prayer journal, incredible book. Write it down, get it, everybody. Tanya Nixon Anderson. And you definitely want to add that to your
Okay.
reading material. And my mom is on and she said, "Good morning, Kim and Dr. Jody. Kim, I need Dr. Jody Baer's new book." She said, "Okay, I'll get you your own copy, Mama." Jay Nolan, who has a wonderful book as well about the science to wealth, the science behind wealth. And I have that book as well. It is a great read. And
Science of Getting Rich. Whew.
The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich. And that book is a game changer. Get that book by Jay Nolan. And Sheila said, "Yes, ladies, excellent." Hey, Sheila, glad
Thank
to
you,
have
Dr. Sheila.
Dr. Sheila, glad to have you on today and look forward to having you as a guest as well.
Yes.
Lady Justine Hillier said, "Love yourself and be grateful for who you are." And Dr. Jody, make sure you connect me and Dr. Sheila, okay? All right,
will.
let's see. Thanks for the reminder, Dr. Jody. Let's see. Lots of comments coming in. All right, you guys, I hope I didn't. I'm sure it's a whole lot more. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in today to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Dr. Jody, you've been a fantastic guest, as always.
And you know why I was a fantastic guest? Because you are a fantastic host. Thank you,
Oh.
Kim Jacobs, for honoring just being part of my life, who you are. And notice I said who you are and what you do in that order.
You all stay connected with Dr. Joe Dee Baer at drjod.com, 800-820-0584. Get your pre-ordered copy today of the book. Let's put it up again, 21 Days to Your Best You. Okay, have a great one, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Jody. We appreciate you. Love you and high five and all that good stuff. Look at yourself in the mirror, everybody, and talk to your bare body. All right, according to Dr. Jody. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.